Hey you lot, it's your girl coming at you with another video. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. So this right here, she is no stranger to this channel. Of course she's no stranger to me, but for those who are new, I'm gonna introduce her. This is my best friend Asha.
Hi guys, how you doing?
Pondy Goddamn. So this is turning into a yearly video.
Yeah.
Where we reflect on the year that's gone by. So we did it for 2020, and if you haven't seen that video, you should probably go watch it. And so now we're gonna reflect on 2021.
Yeah, let's do this. I'm ready.
Chestnut roasting.
Alright, sis.
There's been a lot this year. Just a lot.
So what are you seeing?
You thought 2020 had you bad. Listen, 2021 kind of shocked everybody. We weren't expecting to be in a whole pandemic still. Pandemic.
Panorama. Panini.
A waffle. We did not expect to be in a waffle still. But here we are, surviving 2 years in.
It's the fact that we thought like that the pandemic was going to be over by this time.
I was ready. I was ready for it to be. 2021 was supposed to be my year. And actually though,
I was just going to say,
it kind of has been, despite everything that's been happening. You know, for me, anyway. I know you got some exciting things to share too. So, what a guan, yeah.
So January, February, you know, normal or whatever. Then March came, and then April came. April is when I got COVID.
No way. Say less.
And I had no symptoms. And so it started off with me just being a close contact, and then, you know, the 14 days went by, ended up contracting the virus, blah, 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 blah. And the way I got through my quarantine period was by creating. And so I was very active on TikTok versus in 2020 when we were on lockdown. I was very active on YouTube. But with quarantine, with being on quarantine this past year, I was very active on TikTok, putting up like little skits and things, which got a lot of engagement from the island, right? And I think it maybe also helped a lot of people or whatever. You know, you're just trying to be funny and create a funny space within all of this craziness. You know what I mean?
You helped you too.
That too, yeah, that's what I mean.
Because you was all of the board. I mean, I tried to help because, you know, we tried to do the calligraphy thing, and that didn't quite work out.
So she came to my window one day, lot, and bought like all of these supplies for me to do like start calligraphy, and it basically never left the bag. And I ended up giving it back to her like a couple of days ago.
I'm still grateful.
Yeah, yeah. It was nice. It just never happened.
Yeah.
But anyway, so yeah, I did that. Finally was back to work. I was basically on quarantine for all of April, was back to work in May. June was my birthday, which that was an interesting birthday.
Slight turn off.
For different reasons. Kept it slight. I just went to dinner with Patrick, you know, kept it simple. June, July, you know, summertime was good. The island was basically open for summer, basically. And then around like August, September, we had another spike, which was the UK variant, Delta variant.
Yeah.
Ended up.
I can't keep up with all the alphabets and the alpha, beta, gamma. What?
Well,
Omicron. Omarion.
So anyway, yeah, in September I ended up getting COVID again.
How many times was that? You got COVID twice?
This was my second time. Second time.
Oh no.
It's basically inevitable. Like, let me tell you something, right? When you get COVID, people will just automatically assume that you need to stop going everywhere. This one right here weren't going anywhere.
No, you weren't.
But the people who are going out everywhere somehow end up not catching the virus, right? Anyway, I ended up contracting it again. It was literally an inevitable situation because I was a close contact with someone who ended up turning positive, and this person I'm around all the time, so it just happened that way.
Dun, dun, dun.
So I was basically out for another. I was out. This was in September, by the way. I was out for about 3 weeks in September, and then here we are.
I mean, it's not September no more.
But so in September, with that, when I contracted the Delta variant, I had all of the symptoms, you name it.
Mm.
The flu-like symptoms, the body aches, the sinus pressure.
Could you taste?
I couldn't taste.
You couldn't eat no ice cream?
I couldn't smell.
No ice cream?
It literally, when you can't taste and you can't smell, if you haven't been through it, it's hard to fathom, but it literally takes the point out of eating.
Mm-hmm.
Like someone told me when I couldn't taste and couldn't smell, they were like, I would have took advantage of that and just ate like salads or whatever. If you like I said, if you haven't experienced it, then you can't speak on it.
Mm.
You know what I mean? Because it literally is bored to eat. It's just like I'm literally
What's
just
the point?
I'm literally just moving my
Might as well
jaw.
eat paper. It's probably
You know,
healthier for you.
Like you're literally just eating just to put something in your stomach so that you're not fainting later. You know what I mean? But yeah. So that was September.
That's crazy, dude.
I actually had planned on launching my business in October, but because I contracted the virus in September, that pushed my launch date back. So then I said, okay, I'm gonna launch in November, but because of shipping times and everything, you know, living in Bermuda, that I ended up having to push my launch date back to December, which worked out perfectly because I'm a Christmas fanatic.
Yeah, you are.
I love all things Christmas, you know what I mean? So I ended up launching my business on December 1st.
Yeah.
Melting Point, go follow that on Instagram. I'll put the handle on the screen for you guys. And yeah, should I talk
I was a
about
customer. Listen, I was a customer, and it's working for me. Okay, I have sensitive skin, so nothing but the natural best for her because she's a little extra. So it came to a point where I actually had a flare up in my skin, and Melting Point basically saved my life.
So Asha's been using the Cocoa Shea butter on her face, and she's been saying that it's been working wonders.
Like, look,
I'm really happy to hear that.
Yeah.
Cause it takes work a lot. So I just I don't want to talk too much about Melting Point, but I do the shea butter, the whipped shea butter, and I do wax melts. And I'm also gonna start some new things in the new year in 2022. So be on the lookout. Like I said, follow Melting Point on Instagram.
Follow Melting Point, or I will find you.
Wow. So what? November, December time, we were experiencing another spike.
What letter is this one now? Lambda? What's the next one? Zeta?
Listen, hopefully we don't have to go that far. So, you know what? Honestly, there were a lot of learning lessons in this year that I kind of skipped over, but we're going to get into that. But anyway, what about your year review, sis?
Oh, you want to talk about my year? Well, my year. No, I'm kidding. I'm dramatic sometimes. I started off the year with no job, and I was basically home, recovering and whatnot from graduate. Well, I was about to graduate. I found out in February, like early February, that I was a graduate and I could, qualify to meet my requirements and technically walk down the aisle, which, panorama graduations weren't exactly the walk down the aisle type. So it was a little bit anticlimactic for me when I found out. But, of course, all of the tears, all of the celebration from my family and my friends who have been, cheering me on and supporting me through the whole process.
And you did a photo shoot.
Yes, remember that? Oh, I love those photos too. Like profile pictures.
They're gorgeous.
I'm excited about them. I still use them too today. After the New Year started, I kind of got into the swing of things, but January through March is kind of difficult for me. January through March is kind of difficult for me, and that definitely showed its ugly face this year. I had a lot of anxiety, even from last year, leading up into this year. But, it really took a turn after my birthday, and those were some dark nights of the soul. Listen, let me tell you, I was going through. I actually tried medication for the first time, and that really helped. But I was afraid of the medication, so it was just a whole process of checking on my health and my wellness. And it wasn't just mentally. I also found out, I had high blood sugars. I'm very sweet. See, I'm very sweet. Yes, and apparently my body doesn't like how sweet I am. It's jealous. No, but that meant, I had to really consider the food that I put in my body and how I operate, because both of them actually linked to mental health. And my mental health was being affected by my body was being affected by my mental health, all of that kind of. So I had to sort that through, and that's in the early part of the year. But I started to kind of come out a little bit more in like May, and some things that I wanted to do for the year was, one of them is get a job. So I actually started working at a nursery part-time, just as a substitute kind of teacher. Loved it. Oh my gosh, kids are like my heart and joy. They just put a smile on my face, and it doesn't matter where I am or where I go. It's like they're just magnetically attracted to me. Just can't, like, even saying. But that kind of led as a stepping stone to me feeling a lot more confident to put myself out there in the working world. And someone from last year remembered, hey, she doesn't have a job. So they offered me a position, and so now I'm working full-time. I got promoted twice, like within a short span of time. It's just been a blessing. But oh baby, damn blessings. When you carry them long enough, they get heavy. Because now, the blessing started to feel a little bit rough. And the thing that I prayed for, and it was a form of release, and a relief from not working and not having income, it's now a challenge, because you're dealing with people and personalities and all of that, and I'm learning I need to stand up for myself a little bit more and to advocate for myself a lot more. So stay tuned for that. We'll see how that works out. Hopefully, I'm just trying to align myself right now with the vision that I have for who I want to be and who I want to show up as in the workplace. Because, sometimes you go into a thing and you have one mindset, and the environment around you kind of lends itself to something that will pull you down or pull you into it. And listen, I had to fight against that when I first got in, but now I feel like I'm in the midst of it. So I'm starting to act and behave like I don't want to, and that's not the standard that I have for myself, much less the standard that they're looking for from me now. Because they got all of the work ethic. Okay, I came in swinging. I came in hot, eager, ready to learn, ready to contribute, because I have so much in me that I want to give and I want to share with the world. So,
and it's amazing how people will take advantage of that and think that you're not going to catch on.
Yeah, I'm catching on. Hi, hello. So I'm just trying to pull my socks up now and make sure I'm at the same vision and the same goal as my workplace to become more valuable.
Yeah.
I took myself out on a date.
Which was a result of, like, what, self-love?
Yeah. Yeah. I have a coworker who kind of inspired me and encouraged me, to go after some of the things that I want to go after. And I took the challenge and I just ran with it, you know. I started writing again. Like, it was pouring out of me, just all of this creativity. And as I did that, you know, I started to really see myself how I wanted to see myself. Like, you know how you have this image in your head of your best self and your best life? Like, I started to see that again. You know, I started to believe in myself. My esteem was growing, you know, my confidence was growing because I was at work and I was running the things, you know, I'm doing my best work that I can. And so it was time for some self-love. And I took myself out on a date. Nobody else was there. High-end restaurant. I had the beef tenderloin.
Sis had on this little fancy red dress.
Listen, I had a time. They were looking at me in the restaurant too. Like, the manager came over trying to figure out who I was, because you know, you could be a reviewer or
food critic.
Yeah, a food critic. So I got the special treatment, and the sunset was coming in the windows, and the music was playing. I walked in and it was playing my song. Okay, I was like, I felt so special.
It was like the perfect night.
Really was. And then after that, you know, I just started to put myself out there a little bit more, and you know, prospects on the horizon, see what happens, kind of thing. So I'm excited about my year. December's ending just where I thought it would, and I'm amped up to see what 2022 is going to bring.
Well, that sounds great. We've both had some pretty good years. Praise God for that. But there were also some lessons in 2021. Shall I go first?
Yeah, you go first. You go first, because
okay,
they might not like my lessons. I might teach people something.
Well, look, and I think we both share this characteristic, right? Where we can be very understanding, right? Understanding to the point.
Tolerant.
Yes, right? But to the point
resilient.
Yeah. To the point
nice.
Where it can allow people to take advantage of us, right? Right? Okay. Now, I don't know, give me some feedback, but I feel like the onus is on, it can be on the person for thinking that they can mistreat us that way, but the onus is also on us for allowing that person to treat us that way.
Yeah, you're right.
Because I think our mentality is that, oh, they're grown, they know how to treat people, they would never do this to me.
Why would we?
But then it's happening right in front of us, and we're like, oh, you know what? I'm understanding towards their behavior because they've been through X, Y, and Z. I'm understanding towards their behavior because maybe they don't know any better because of something that they went through, or maybe they had a bad morning, or
their
maybe
situation, their past traumas, any of those things.
But then the person or people, they start taking advantage of you even more and more and more. And the part that gets my tail is that they think you don't notice. They legit think you don't notice.
Yeah, we feel it, like all of it. Especially, I'm an empath, so I tend to absorb people's energy. So my goal is to make sure everyone else is happy, so that I don't have to tolerate nobody's nonsense in my space. But when you're a people pleaser,
let's talk about it.
You self-sabotage a lot, and your self-sacrifice doesn't always get appreciated or valued in the way that it should, because you're being extra caring and concerned for other people, but they don't care about you. They don't give.
And that's another thing that's been proven this year.
Cares.
Like the amount, like the way that I thought you cared for me, you literally don't care because you're all about self.
Come on, say that.
And I'm here making sure that you look good, or that you're cared for, or that, you know what I mean? But here I am thinking that you're gonna give me the same treatment when you don't even care.
Yeah. I was reading a post actually on Facebook, and it was talking about how someone cut off a relationship that they had, you know, a friendship or whatever. and the person came back to him and was like, I really want to talk, like I need to apologize, da 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 da. So they wanted forgiveness, but they didn't want relationship after that. They just wanted to feel better about what they had done to that person so that they could get off kind of scot-free. And you know, forgiveness and healing, all of that is a part of life and a part of growing in relationships. But listen, if you're going to take it for granted, why even do it in the first place? Why are we friends? Why are we doing this? You know, why are we in the same space? You know, I feel like compassion is one of the biggest things that came out of the whole pandemic era, that we need self-compassion and compassion for each other, because we forget. And the pandemic has kind of allowed us to be really selfish in a sense, because you know, everybody's locked on in their own situation. It's like we forget we're all humans. This is a human collaboration. You know, we need each other. It's crazy.
I've never been a huge people person. Like where someone can walk in a room and just immediately start talking to people. I've never been that person.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'll speak, say good morning, and I'll keep it moving type of thing. Sit in my corner and do what I'm gonna do. But it's just amazing how relationships that I thought were at least kind of solid. Asha, let me tell you, people that I thought I was cool with, like this person has my back. I find out that they're lying on me. Blatant lies.
Listen.
Blatant lies. They're probably watching this video and probably think that I don't know about what went on. But the hurtful part is, right, you got the person who will lie on me, but the person who they're telling the lie to doesn't even have the decency to be like, hey, so and so said this about you. Is this true? Like, people will literally run with rumors as if they're the gospel.
It's true. Should always fact check. Come correct. Fact check. Oh my gosh. We ain't about alternative facts here.
So my relationship, a lot of relationships that I've had with people have literally shifted in a way for me. You know, because I'm done with making excuses for people. I'm done with being 100% understanding.
Listen.
You know, I'm not saying that I'm going to disrespect you, but I'm going to distance myself.
Yeah. Say distance.
You know what I mean?
Sorry.
And it's amazing how entitled people can be. Like they think that you need them.
Your time and your space.
Like if you want to leave, I will hold the door open for you. If you want to stop doing something for me, I never needed you to do it in the first place.
Some did.
Let's start there. You're not...
So much. We are all equally important. Don't get that wrong. It's not that we're saying you're not important. But if you're going to act as if you're the only one who's important, that's the difference. It's a self-centered kind of view. Like, my person is just as valuable and valid as yours. Okay, who I am gets to show up authentically and real in spaces too.
Absolutely.
I have feelings, I have thoughts, I have opinions, I have a life. For me, the whole taking advantage of thing is somebody that I trusted or I'm supposed to be able to trust.
Right.
Lying to me, to my face.
Right.
Okay, and then using my time the way that they think is best and the way that they want it. You know, as long as it's convenient for them.
Right.
But not necessarily for me.
Right.
Like, I have a life, you know, and a large portion of my life has been given to other people because, you know, people pleasing and the empathing because I'm trying to make room and hold space for people, you know.
I understand.
But I'm frustrated at this stage in that, you know, I don't want to be taken advantage of and I don't want to be taken for granted. And now that I'm starting to speak up for myself, putting boundaries in place, they don't like boundaries. People don't like boundaries because they used to get access to their head to you. Okay.
Bruh, listen. So this is what I mean. We're like, we create these monsters.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because they're so used to us saying yes.
Yeah.
They're so used to coming to us. Oh, Rhyan won't mind. Oh, Asha won't mind.
Mm-hmm.
They'll do it.
Yeah.
They won't care. They'll do it.
Because they're used to getting a yes.
Mm-hmm.
I actually have an aunt who kind of does that too, and she pours out
Mm-hmm.
of her heart, for other people, and she always says yes. But when it's time, she doesn't also know how to rest, and to step back from that, put those boundaries in place. And as much as I love my aunt being so willing, it also sometimes hurts to have to ask for it sometimes when I know she's not, in a space to give it. So I try not to take advantage of it or anything like that.
And that's the difference between people who are all about self and people who are, people who are understanding.
Mm. Yeah.
People who are all about
compassion.
self. People who are all about self will be like, oh yeah, I know she's tired, but I'm gonna ask anyway because I know she'll do it.
Yeah, yeah. Me, I'm gonna call her on to see if anybody else is available.
You know what I mean?
First,
So it's definitely been a lot of lessons surrounded by certain relationships, right? That I thought were, I thought we were good. I thought this was, and I'm not saying that the relationship isn't good. You know what I mean? But it's just little things where I thought that you had my back on, and now situations are starting to pull out some demons.
Come on, they come out.
So I just want to preface this by saying that we are in no way perfect.
Yeah.
Right? We make mistakes also. Right? And so.
Well, I could tell you about a mistake that I made this year. This was at work where I made a decision selfishly that would meet my need, without considering how it would impact other people. And I had all of the shame, all of the guilt, all of that, afterwards, because it's really hard at the end of the day to forgive yourself.
Facts.
The easiest person to forgive is anyone else. Anyone else can get more forgiveness, more care, more compassion. But
than ourselves.
Self-compassion, we will beat ourselves up. We will put ourselves through the ringer because we have this idea in our heads of who we want to be and who we want to show up as. And, it's really difficult, especially if you're a perfectionist or a creative even. You want to come right. You want to come correct. And the person you present to the world, you want to make sure that's your best. Especially since, we're Christians, that's one of the things that we want to do. But we ain't perfect. So I ended up confessing what I did wrong and, received whatever pushback came from that. But it was still really heartbreaking, that I let people down. And I realized they didn't really quite forgive me afterwards either. That was a hard process because, forgiveness, healing, that's a whole process that you have to go through to restore relationships back. So yeah, we ain't perfect. No, I'm trying really hard. Yeah.
So where I struggle, right? And of course this is with people again. And this is where I have to put myself in check. Asha knows, right? Those who know me already know. But
yeah, if you know, you know.
I am such a one and done person.
You? Nah, not really.
So one and done. You literally have to show me your character once.
One time.
Once. And I'm done. I'm going. You show me who you are once, I will immediately adjust. And the relationship will never be the same. Right?
And usually you shut down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right? Again, not to say that I will disrespect you, but the dynamic of the relationship is immediately going to shift.
Yeah, you don't get as close to Polly once she's done.
Right? And the way it causes me to put myself in check is that that's not how God is with us.
Say that. Thank God for grace.
and his faithfulness. Like, that's one of my favorite things about God, is his faithfulness, bro. He weren't lying when he said he sticks closer to us than a brother.
Closer.
Alright.
Draw me
So,
close.
this is
Sing
where...
it. Closer than before. Okay.
Okay, sis was having a little rush.
I was. Because grace, like, it's so deep and profound. Like, when I can't forgive somebody else who's doing something to me, because, listen, we've been hurt this year. I've been hurt a lot. You know, things hurt my feelings, things hurt my ideas of creativity, you know. Thank you, pandemic, because I thought I was going to have a whole graduation. Not so, you know. Confession, my diploma still sitting on my shelf, unopened. Haven't touched it because I can't celebrate it. I haven't felt worthy of it in a sense. But yeah, we'll work on that. 2022. But you know, the grace of God has just carried me through all of this year and through these moments. Like, there's no way I should have been promoted twice. In 2 weeks, like almost 2 weeks time. I was volunteering. Then they said, you know, we're going to pay you for these weeks. And then they're like, you know, we're not going to just pay you for 2 weeks. We're going to promote you to full time. Because we like the way you work.
Wow.
Grace! Okay, like, just blessing after blessing. You know, I've met people this year who have come into my life and just totally inspired me and helped me in ways that I didn't think I needed help. You know, challenging perspectives that I had held, you know, limiting beliefs, you know, daring me to kind of take on things that, you know, I had put to the back burner and forgotten about myself. Who, can you say grace? Like, such a blessing just to be in relationship, in just proximity, fellowship, you know, with people. I mean, the pandemic separates us so easily, and we can, like I said earlier, get into our bubbles kind of, and we're self-centered. It's about me, it's about how I feel. You know, we do have to prioritize ourselves at a certain level, but it's also taken away the community that we had. But even in the midst of all of that, you know, God's been bringing new ideas, new experiences. Guess what, y'all? I started a YouTube channel.
So please do me a favor and pause this video and go subscribe to her YouTube channel. What's your YouTube channel name, sis?
Right now it's Ashy Creates, ASHIE.
I'm gonna put it on the screen for you guys.
And Creates, of course.
So she's already put up her first video that took over a year to post.
Why you gonna do me like that?
But the important thing is that she's gonna be consistent with her uploads.
I'm excited. I'm really excited for the medium of YouTube to be able to express myself and put myself out there.
And we're actually gonna be filming another video for her channel. So
stay tuned. Yeah,
stay tuned.
It's exciting, and all of that came from a dare too. You know, hey Ash, what you got? Put it out there. Put it in my hand. When you say I put it in my hand and you know who you are, listen, so challenged because I'm also a competitive person in a sense. Mostly I compete with myself, but if you tell me that I can't do something, or if you tell me that I'm not as good as I should be, I'm going to work really hard to make that not true. You know, to prove myself, and that's, you know, neither here nor there, people please and whatnot, but I used it as a catalyst, you know, this experience to push me into things that, you know, I've always wanted to do but never really had the courage to pursue. And the dare was just what I needed, I guess, to get it off the ground. So yeah, she's out there. Watch out, world. I'm coming for you.
You know, it's been a long time coming with getting this girl to start her channel. But anyway, it started a video is uploaded, and we're gonna film another video to be uploaded,
and then another one,
and another one,
and another one.
So I'm excited. I'm excited for you.
It's gonna be a whole journey.
I am excited for you.
And the thing is, like, when you start to express yourself, when you start to let the light come out of you, when you let love come out of you, and it covers a lot of grace and peoples and flaws and all of that, you know, it just doesn't stop. Like, it starts to be like a flow, like a fountain, and you just keep wanting to experience more and more and more of it. Like, I feel like that's what I've been trying to say when I'm like, I want more. Because I want more out of life now. But I, like, even from my relationships, from my friendships, from my family, I want to keep flowing. Like, I want to keep creating. I want to keep vibing. I want to keep the good times flowing and just see more and more increase. I'm expanding, Polly.
Very good.
I'm like a marshmallow been put in the fire. But when you come out, you know, you ain't small no more. You big and fluffy. And if I try to put you back in the bag, you know, you're going to be a little sticky because you're going to stick to everything. And I feel like that's what, when blessings start to come to your life, they come because you're expanded and they're starting to stick to you.
Yeah.
And you can't help but be blessed.
Yeah.
We're so blessed, Polly.
Yeah.
We're so blessed.
Yeah.
You so blessed.
And can I also expand on that? So with, you know, talking about being blessed and everything, one thing that I also, I guess, started again this year was rekindling my relationship with God.
Say that.
Intentionally. You know, I have fallen off the majority of this year with praying, reading my word, doing my devotionals and all of that. And I told myself specifically when I got COVID the second time, because when I contracted COVID the second time, it wasn't
like the first.
No, but I mean, it wasn't, I didn't get it for nothing. That was God trying to get my attention.
Oh, really? He got your attention with the COVID? You mean he does that?
He
uses the hard things?
He will do what he has to do to get your attention.
Say that.
So, anyway, in September, I started praying more. Like, intentionally. Like, in the morning, that is my prayer time. In the morning on my way to work. That is literally my prayer time where I'm just talking to God, right? And let's just like say, we're just gonna slip this in real quick, right? That your prayers is not something that has to be so formal. It ain't gonna sound pretty. It ain't gonna be dressed up and everything like how you hear in a church, and how sometimes fellow Christians will make you think that it has to sound pretty. It really
Father
does
God,
not.
Lord Jesus, creator of heaven and of earth.
It ain't gotta be that. It ain't gotta be that. It's
Don't do it.
literally just you coming before God, thanking Him for everything that He's done, presenting your petitions before Him, and just, you know, putting things into His hand. You know, wherever the Spirit leads you.
It's a conversation.
It really is. It really is.
It really, just talk to Him.
Because that's what He wants.
He just wants fellowship. He just wants relationship
That-
with us.
that part.
He wants you to know Him just like how He knows you. He knows you because He created you, but you know, we got separated because we're not here on earth having this earthly experience as spiritual beings. So He wants you to want to know Him. It's really simple. Actually, I was doing the same thing, going through a process. Just, I don't even know when it started. I feel like it was maybe July, August, something like that. And I rededicated my life again too, and I want to talk about what that means. So the enemy kind of likes to use vessels that are set aside for sacred use as if they're unholy, and desecrate them and mess them up. And he's been trying to get us to agree with everything that he's accusing us of. You're dirty, you're disgusting, you're ratchet, all of that. And when you rededicate the vessel back to the use of God, you're just saying, you know, I'm restoring it back to where it was. It means you don't have to agree with what the enemy is accusing you of. It means that you get to be brand new all over again. And no, you're never going to be perfect, but
Right.
the work has already been done for all of the things that you've been flawed at and sinful at.
Right.
So
Right.
just keep going.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, when I started to say yes to God, not just started, but I actually said, okay, yes.
Mm-hmm.
That's when everything started to accelerate.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean quickly too, like unexpected.
Mm-hmm.
Literally people walk into my life and I'm like, I wasn't expecting to see you. And then blessings and just like an acceleration towards the purpose that God has in my life.
Mm-hmm.
Like a YouTube channel that took me
Over a year.
I think it was more than that. Because when you started your channel, you started your channel like 2015, 2014, something like that.
15.
Something like that.
May of 2015.
Okay, so maybe a year after that, I was like, you know, I've always wanted to do this too.
Yeah, that's true. She was talking about starting a YouTube channel
Okay,
around that time.
it's been a long time,
Yeah.
but now I'm hurt.
Yeah.
Let's talk about acceleration.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's the goal of this time period. You know, even if we have whole chaos around us, you know, he wants his purpose to be established in the earth.
Mm-hmm.
We have to follow and answer the call. We have to answer the call on our life to be on purpose and to do what God is asking us to do. And that don't always look like, you know, Ave Maria. No, it don't look like that. Like sometimes it looks like getting to work on the mountain that you're called to. It looks like taking control of a household that you're the head of. It looks like being creative and putting into the world the things that he would like to see in the world, or you would like to see in the world. You know, he gives you the desires in your heart, but not just so that you can have them, but because he wants you to have the desires so that you can want the things that he wants
Absolutely.
for you.
Absolutely.
Like, it's so cool.
It's literally all full circle.
It really is.
Mhm.
It really is.
Because everything has to give him glory.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
You know, all glory to God.
There was a certain environment that I hated being in, right? And I was required to be in this environment daily. Okay? I'm just gonna leave it at that. You can do with that information what you want. So, anyway,
Sounds like hard work.
over the course of this year, that environment literally changed. Like I watched certain, I'm gonna say, things that contributed to the uncomfortableness of this environment literally leave and being replaced by other things
Come through.
that contributed peace.
Yeah, say peace.
Okay? And it may not make sense the way I'm telling it, but we're just gonna leave it there for the sake of confidentiality.
No, that makes perfect sense.
Okay.
That made perfect sense.
All right. Well, there you go. And you know, getting back to me like reactivating my prayer life in this very same environment, I found that people were coming up and asking me to pray for them or to pray together. Isn't that wild? This same place that I hated coming to
Became your haven.
it's kind of it's becoming a place where
Where you can pray. That's what I mean when I say haven.
okay, yeah. So it's just amazing how God can literally take something and turn it around into something that you never imagined it becoming.
Turn it around. I guess I'm singing in it again. Sorry.
But yeah, so like even with my business, right? You know, when I was explaining earlier about how you know, with me getting COVID in September, I had to push the date back, and then you know, with shipping times, I had to push the date back. I was running out of product to make. I was running out of supplies to make my products, which caused me to push the date back even further. And it's just like, you know, even though I was just starting a business, first of all, can I say that usually when I experience the first hiccup, I'm like, okay, you know what, frig this, I don't want to do it anymore, right? But God was literally like, I guess, building my perseverance.
Keep going.
And teaching me to trust in Him.
Keep going.
And that even though I had plans to start the business in October, He was like, but I'm gonna teach you a few lessons between now and your actual start date, which is December 1st. Right? And so it just all like,
it works together.
God just be doing things, you know.
And you said you had a plan, like a really specific time, date, way that you wanted it to be manifested. And it didn't work that way. But despite that, God used it to bring you to your best end. Like, that's so cool. Like, say plans, because I had plans to be rich by now. And I had plans to be retired. You know, I wanted to retire at 25. And, you know, I had big goals. I still do. Big dreams. You know, not everybody can handle that. And you don't tell your dreams to everybody. That's a little tip for you. But, you know, timing. You know, I wanted certain things in my life that, you know, every human being, I think, wants. Relationship, connection, you know, a career that you enjoy and love, you know. But my timeline's been way different. You know, I got friends who are married, 2 kids, their own house, second house, you know, just phenomenal workers and business people, you know. And here I am with a paintbrush and a pencil
And a dream.
and a dream, you know, and my wallet's got flies in it.
And can I also add that, you know, when you see people like our peers who are married, kids, the house, the second house, and so on and so forth, it's important to not compare yourself to their success, right? It's just a turn.
Yeah.
It's just a turn, and your turn, our turn is coming.
Yeah, I mean, I do celebrate them.
Yeah, for sure. And that's the other thing.
That's the other thing.
Celebrate them. Okay?
Say that
celebrate
again.
them.
Say it again.
Genuinely celebrate your peers.
Yes.
Celebrate your friends and, you know, whoever, your family members, for their accomplishments.
Yes, success ain't easy, and you don't know their journey, like what took for them to get there. Celebrate the success.
Hello.
I mean, you could sit there and be, why is she always getting?
And it's so easy to fall into that.
And complain.
The devil is busy.
Pull them down, crabs in a bucket kind of mentality. But it's not worth it. Like, let's celebrate each other. You know, one of my old best friends from a long time ago just had a beautiful little girl, and she's the most sweet little thing. Oh my gosh. And I'm so excited for her and for everything that's happening in their life. You know, I got friends who literally got engaged this year, people who got married, and I'm sitting here like, ain't nothing. I mean, I bought myself a ring, but that's another story.
That's alright. Shoot.
But you celebrate all of their moments and wait patiently for when yours come. And waiting doesn't always look like
Absolutely.
you're learning to serve. You know, that's the best thing I feel like about my job, is that I'm in a place where I'm surrounded by believers, and I can pray. I can, you know, say, hey, I'm having a rough day, and we'll stop, take a moment, take a breather, and we can pray together, which is amazing. But at the point of where I'm at, I was reminded, hey, you're here to learn to serve. And serving is active. Serving is not just stagnant. It's not just still. You're not just waiting for the gift fairy God to come with a blessing.
Yeah.
You know, you're working to show yourself someone who is worthy of what He's gonna give you to carry for the rest of it.
Oh Lord, well, baby.
So many lessons. So many
lessons. And you know what? Even when we're in the midst of it and it doesn't feel nice and it hurts and we're like, wow, what is going on? And we get frustrated and whatever.
Stay frustrated. Because, you know,
all kinds of frustration, you know, at the same time, you know, we thank God, because nothing is just nothing. Nothing happens for just no reason, you know. God is trying to teach us something. He's trying to show us something. He's trying to show us our demons, you know, what we need to get straight, right?
We don't like looking at them. the dark nights and
Well,
things.
listen.
But something else I've learned, even the people that come as stumbling blocks in your way, they come to be a mirror to you, to reflect things about yourself that you can't see. So once you have the contrast in front of you, you're confronted with the things that you wouldn't have dealt with otherwise. That's the point of relationships. Even the difficult ones, even the ones where you're like, but I thought we were okay, like I thought we were solid, or I thought I could trust you, you know. All of those relationships are to show you something and to bring something out of you to help you to grow as a human being.
That's a good way to look at it. That's really good.
Well, you know, sometimes be wise.
Sometimes.
Other times be foolish.
Sometimes be wise. Other times not so much. But I think this was good, babe.
Yeah, I think so too.
I think this was good.
Do you feel better?
I feel good.
I feel good too.
I
got a lot of things off my chest.
and you know what, guys, the important thing out of all of this, right, even though sometimes, you know, because we seem to be on the topic of relationships, and it looks like for both Asha and I that was a big learning lesson in 2021. It's important to always move in love. You know what I mean? It's so easy to cuss someone out. It's so easy.
I don't know what you're talking about. I don't cuss.
It's so easy to want to disrespect someone. It's so easy to just like dispose of people, and sometimes it is very necessary. Right? Because not all relationships are for us. Okay? But even when that is the case, it's important to still move in love.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Sometimes, like you said, the most loving thing you can do though is cut it off.
Exactly.
Cut it out, cut it up, do something.
Exactly.
Especially if it's hurting other people. You know.
Yeah, for real.
But love covers so much. So much.
A multitude of sins.
Lead with love, guys. I always say that. Lead with love.
Yes, absolutely. But yeah, I think it's time to wrap up this video, sis.
Yeah.
I think this was good.
Yeah.
I think this was good. So I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. Join the conversation down in the comments.
Yes, please.
Don't forget to follow Asha on her channel. Asha Creates. I'm gonna put it on the screen again.
I'm also on Instagram, so you can follow me on Instagram too.
What's your handle?
Asha Creates.
Okay, so I'm just gonna put all her information on the screen for you guys to follow her, because she's got some big things coming up, and I'm so proud. I am so, you guys have no idea, I'm so proud of her.
Thank
you, you know it. And happy 2022.
Like and subscribe.
So I'll see you guys in the next video and in the new year. Bye.